They said to me, hey, instead of hosting the NBA Finals, why don't you do Doris's sideline reporter job for the NBA Finals? Because guess what that would clear the way for? For Maria to do the hosting for it.
Yeah.
So, I have declined. I don't know what their next move is, but they are feeling pressure because of all of that, and I'm trying to figure out like how to just, my thing is that I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which by the way I myself know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me.
Me too, but I'm
thinking about it. 2 in the afternoon, 3 days from now, you're going to text me a perfect Thursday. Yeah. But that's it. That's the average.
Yeah. And it's like you could frame it almost interestingly, you could actually generate a really interesting conversation about how it's, just so very white male for that in turn two women on each other to compete over the one spot that they're paying over them. That's like a broader conversation about all the spots that should be under consideration.
There isn't just one seat at the table for a minority of whichever version this week we're trying to please.
If you think about it, this is precisely the problem we've been talking about for a long time. This is white men. It is an example of one black person in the boardroom. You don't get to have a black woman in a prominent spot and feel like, okay, the hard work is done.
We're done.
And you certainly don't get to say, okay, if you have a white woman and a woman in a critical seat, and now that we're going to put a black woman in that case, the question is, where the other seats that white males are in? That should be under consideration.
What's good, y'all? It's kingtise. Welcome back to Throughout the Association. And first of all, happy 4th of July to you guys. Happy Independence Day. Hopefully you guys have a great day, a memorable night, and be safe, man. But before I start this, I do want to say last year I did a story about this situation, but last year at the time, the only information really available was Rachel Nichols was video recorded in her hotel room without her knowledge, which is still true, and we do need to keep that in mind. But with new information today, and with now hearing some of that recording, that video now look trash, which I'm not ashamed to admit. We all take a L sometimes, but again, that was based on the information at the time. Now, let me break this situation down as best I can. What you just heard is Rachel Nichols on the phone with Adam Mendelson, who is a senior advisor at TPG, which is an asset firm, I believe, and he's also a longtime advisor of LeBron James. Now, LeBron might get a lot of unnecessary hate for this situation, but he really has nothing to do with this for the most part. I say for the most part because Rachel was reaching out to Adam to request an interview with LeBron and Anthony Davis, which she eventually got when the Lakers won the finals, but LeBron really has nothing to do with the conversation these two were having, and he might even be looking at this dude a little sideways now based on some of the things he said during that conversation. Now, that phone call was from July of last year, and that's only 3 minutes of a 20-minute conversation. There's still 17 minutes of that conversation that we don't know about yet, but how we know about this conversation still isn't really known. Last year in the bubble, Rachel Nichols was in her hotel room. And of course, we know she's the host of The Jump, so she had a video camera set up in her room to record from her room, and somehow that camera was on and recording without her knowledge. And that recording is being sent to an ESPN server, which is accessible to many ESPN employees. Some employees saw this conversation going on, so she pulled out her phone and recorded it. She then sent it to others, and it spread from there. Now, the reason Rachel is upset in that video is because Maria Taylor received responsibility to host coverage during the NBA Finals, which Rachel was expecting to do. But the reason Rachel says Maria receives that opportunity is because the network feels crappy about their long-term history on diversity. So essentially, Rachel is saying Maria received that opportunity because she's black. Not because she qualified and the network feels she's the right woman for the job, but because she black and they feel bad. That quote in specific has caused a lot of internal conflict at ESPN with her coworkers that they are still dealing with today. Now, Rachel did give a statement to New York Times, who reported this story and did a tremendous job reporting this story. You guys should check it out if you can. But Rachel said that conversation, that phone call, was her being frustrated and unloading to a friend about ESPN's process, not about Maria. She said, "My own intentions in that conversation and the opinion of those in charge at ESPN are not the sum of what matters here. If Maria felt the conversation was upsetting, then it was, and I was the cause of that for her." Rachel says she's reached out to Maria a few times to apologize through text and phone calls, but she says Maria has chosen not to respond to those offers, which she feels is completely fair and a decision she respects. Rachel also went on to say that she was shaken up that a fellow employee would do this and that other employees, including some of those within the NBA project, had no remorse about passing around a spy video of a female coworker alone in her hotel room. She also says she would in no way suggest that the way the comments came to light should grant a free pass on them being hurtful to other people. Well, Rachel, that's kind of exactly what that sounds like. It sounds like you think we shouldn't care what you said because the video shouldn't have been recorded. But two things can be true. The video definitely shouldn't have been recorded, but it's actually a kind of a good thing that it was, because we would have never known what you said. Now, ESPN did review this video, and they said that the content of the conversation did not warrant any discipline to Rachel. But that was a source of conflict as well, because Kayla Johnson, who is the one that recorded this video and sent it to others, she was suspended 2 weeks without pay, and she was later given less desirable task at work, whatever that means. This was an issue because Kayla is also black. Now, I'm kind of torn on that because I think Rachel's wording of things kind of worked out in her favor. She didn't blatantly say what we all know she said. What she said in the video was more an attack on the network itself. And she was being recorded in her hotel room without her knowledge. That's like somebody recording you in your house and you don't know. She could sue for that. Whereas Kayla recorded her in her room without her knowing and sent it to others. She didn't send it to the bosses. She sent it to Maria Taylor and other employees. You have to do something about that. I understand why the optics of it look bad, but I also understand why they did what they did. Now, ever since that video has come about, Maria has not interacted with Rachel, and she's also requested that they don't interact on air, deservingly so. If you ever see NBA Countdown, if you see Rachel Nichols on it, that is a pre-recorded video. It is not live. But ESPN almost recently caused a huge commotion because they said that if Maria continued to refuse to interact with Rachel on air, no reporters will be allowed on the show live. This nearly caused Jalen Rose, Jay Williams, Adrian Wojnarowski, etc. to boycott. So of course ESPN did not follow through with that threat. The NBA Countdown crew also feels very strongly against what ESPN tried to issue because they feel it was to benefit Rachel Nichols, who is the cause of the conflict, whom they did not punish. Now, Maria Taylor only has 3 weeks left on her contract, and I think it's very clear that she will not be back. But I don't think Maria leaving will solve all of ESPN's problems just because she's not there anymore. I think a lot of damage was done here, and it's clear ESPN has a lot of things they need to fix internally because they clearly have a lot of disgruntled employees. But if I were you guys, I would be prepared for Rachel's victim statement tomorrow that she's going to give on the jump about this situation. What you guys think about this? And definitely subscribe.